Which are the pulse crop? Kajan's kajan, red gram, tur, moog, udid. Then gram. These are the pulses. Cowpea, gram, mung bean, urud bean, red gram, cowpea, gram. These are the major pest of pulses. Okay. So first one major pulse crop, that is the pigeon pea or tur, also called as a red gram, is an important crop in semi-arid and subtropical farming systems. Provide high quality vegetable protein, animal feed, and firewood. After chickpea, pigeon pea is the second most important pulse crop grown in our country. Pigeon pea ranks 6 in area and production in comparison to other legumes such as beans, and chickpea. India has virtual monopoly. India's virtual monopoly in the India's virtual monopoly in pigeon pea production, which accounts near about 90% world's total production in our India. So this is one of the most important pulse crop in our India. That is the pigeon pea or red gram, Cajanus cajan. So major pest of pigeon pea. First one, that is the gram pod borer or tur pod borer. Scientific name Helicoverpa armigera. Family Noctuidae Lepidoptera. So this is the one of the most notorious, economically important pest, having a polyphagous nature, having a number of host crops like gram, tur, pea, cotton, tobacco, safflower, sunflower, tomato, having a very wide host range. So first of mark of identification in that eggs mainly spherical in shape and creamy white in color and deposit singly. Then next one, larva shows color variation from greenish to brown, green with dark brown gray lines laterally on the body with lateral white lines, also has a dark and pale bands. Pupa is mostly brownish in color, occurs mostly in a soil, in a leaves, pods, also in a crop debris. Adult stage, which is a light pale brownish yellow, stout moth, forewings gray with pale brown with P-shaped spikes. Hind wings are pale smoky white with a broad black incubation period near about 6 to 7 days. Larval period is near about 2 weeks. Pupal stage of that pest is found in a soil. Pupal period is near about 1 to 2 weeks. Total life cycle completed within 5 to 6 weeks. Several generations completed in a 1 year. Seasonal occurrence, mainly this pest active from month of November to March. Nature of damage, this is the Noctuidae family pest. Damaging stage is the larva or caterpillar, mainly cause damage to the uh, predgram during the night hours. Initial younger stages of that pest mostly feed on tender foliage and young pull into the pods and damage the developing seeds by inserting the anterior half portion of their body inside the pod. Defoliation in the early stage, larva's head alone thrust inside the pod and rest of the body hanging outside the pod. Pods with round holes. This is the particular sign of infestation of that pest. Having completely round holes you can see on the infested pods. Small spots appear on the leaves. These spots increase in size and produce brown ring. Inner ring lines are purple in color. Management practices: pod borers crop for every 9 rows of pigeon pea and plant maize as a border crop, so minimize the infestation of that pest. 1 rows of sunflower after 9 rows of a pigeon pea as a border crop, so we should minimize the infestation of that pest on pigeon pea. Pheromone traps for Helicoverpa armigera, that is 12 pheromone traps should be installed per hectare. Bird arches is near about 50 bird arches should be installed in a 1 hectare area. Bird arches means मराठीमध्ये काय म्हणतो आपण त्याला? बर्ड आर्चेस, बर्ड आर्चेस सांगता येईल का कोणाला? बर्ड आर्चेस फील्ड मध्ये पक्षी थांबे म्हणतो आपण त्याला मराठीत. Bird arches should be installed 50 per hectare. Then use of the HNPV 3 into 10 raised to 12 polyhedral occlusion bodies per hectare with 0.1% tipol. Plowing in the field after harvest the crop would destroy the pupa nearly by 70%. Hand collection of caterpillars in the early stage of a infestation. because larval size is bigger. That's why we should collect larva, or hand collection of a larva is possible. Then application of uh, mainly neem based chemicals, in that 5% neem seed kernel extract, spraying the crop with 0.05% formothion, quinolphos, pozzolon, or dusting with phenthate 2% dust, quinolphos 1.5% dust, pozzolon 4% dust, malathion 5% dust, methyl parathion 2% dust at the rate 20 kg per hectare as soon as 5% pods are damaged or 2 larvae per meter row are noticed. 5% damaged pods or 2 larvae per meter row. This is the ATL level of that pest. So this is all about the Tur pod borer as well as gram pod borer. This is the most noxious pest of a Tur as well as gram. Then next important pest, that is the Tur plume moth. Scientific name Exelastis atmosa, family Pterophoridae, order Lepidoptera. Tur plume moth, Exelastis atmosa, family Pterophoridae, order Lepidoptera. Economic importance of that pest: it is a common pest on pods of red gram, causing considerable losses. It is a specific pest of Tur in many parts of India. So only one host plant of that pest is the Tur. So this is the specific pest. Tur plume moth, Exelastis atmosa, family Pterophoridae, order Lepidoptera. Mark of identification: mostly larval stage, which is greenish brown in color, having a fringed with radiating hairs and spines on their body. Adult, which is a delicate brown colored small moth with a plume type of wings. So in a Thor plume moth, the wings are having a plume type. That's why it is called as a plume moth. In a four wings, which are divided into two parts, and they are divided into three parts, having borders, bristles, or large number of hairs on their forewings borders, as well as hindwing borders, having slender type. That's why it is called as a plume moth. So their wings mostly divided into two parts of a forewings, three parts in a hind wings, and having a bristles or hairs on the uh, margins of a wings. Life cycle: mostly eggs deposit on tender shoots, leaves, flowers, or on a pods. Incubation period 5 days. Larval period is near about 4 weeks. Pupal stage of that pest is found in a pod surface in a pod burrows. Pupal period is near about 2 weeks. Total life cycle completed within 7 weeks. Nature of damage: mainly larval stage is the damaging stage, bore into the unopened flower buds for consuming the developing anther. More damage is seen during the flowering, pod maturing, and pod filling stage. It is reported that on an average, the pod damage in pigeon pea due to the plume moth was 8.9% and grain damage is near about 4%. These are the symptoms: holes on a infested pods, small spiny caterpillars and pupae seen on the pods. Management practices: ETL level of that pest is near about 5. Infested pods, bird arches, 50 bird arches should be installed in a 1 hectare area. Application of HNPV, then application of azathioprine, Bacillus thuringiensis, dimethoate, imamectin benzoate, indoxacarb, chlorantraniliprole, spinosad, pozzolane. These are the effective chemicals against the tur. The next one important pest of red gram, that is the tur pod fly or red gram pod fly, Melangromyza octosa family. Common name: pod fly, bean pod fly, pigeon pea pod fly, or tur pod fly. So pigeon pea, cowpea, green gram, chickpea, Rhynchocosia minima. These are the host plant. Pigeon pea is the primary host of this pest. Typical damage symptoms in pigeon pea include pods with on the pod wall, holes of pinhead size in a dry pods, and seeds inside stripped, shriveled, and partially eaten. Pest status: a common and major pest of pigeon pea all over India. Seed damage due to the pod fly can vary from 2% to over 90%, with large variation across location, season, and genotype of a pigeon pea. This is the maggot stage of theropod fly and adult. Mainly maggot, which is a creamy whitish in color without legs. In length, adult flies is looks like a common housefly, small in size, blackish or grayish color of their body, and wings are transparent. Host plant mainly tur, soybean, cowpea. Life cycle: eggs mostly deposit uh, on the pods by a female with the help of their ovipositor. Near about 38 eggs should be deposited on a pods by a female with the help of their ovipositor. Incubation period is near about 3 to 4 days. Larval period 6 to 21 days. Pupal stage of that pest is found in a larval burrows inside the pod. Pupal period is near about 1 to 4 weeks. Adult fly for 5 to 12 days. Of that pest is completed within a 3 weeks. Seasonal occurrence: adult flies are noticed in October, and there are 2 to 3 broods completed on a tour up until harvest of a tour. So mainly life cycle of that pest: their site of position mainly on a pods, and their pupal stage is inside the pod in a burrows which develop by the maggot. Nature of damage: damaging stage of that pest is the maggot. After hatching from the eggs, enters into and that seeds. At first, the damage resembles so that the leaf minor as the galleries run just under the epidermis of a seed. Later, they burrow deep down, resulting in decaying of the grain, which become unfit for either consumption or germination. It is a severe case of damage, the pods present twisted appearance. 60 to 70% damage has been noticed due to the infestation of a Tur pod fly, Melangomyza obtusa. Management practices consumes Indurus, Lividus, Irritoma species, Indurus axis of a Tur pod fly. Application of carbaryl 50 WP at the rate 1.5 kg or lambda xylothrine 5% EC at the rate 400 to 500 ml or lupineuron 5.4% EC 2.5 liter with 700 liter water per hectare. The next important pest of pulses crop, that is the blue butterfly Lampidus boetus, Lampidus boetus. Larval stage, it is a flat in shape, slightly rounded, pale green with a rough skin. Adult moth, which is a grayish blue with prominent black spots in the hind wings and has a ventral side of wings with numerous strips and brown spots. So these are the various stages of that blue butterfly larva and adult stage of a blue butterfly, as well as pupal stage, egg stage, larval stage, pupal stage, and this one is the adult stage. The damaging stage is the caterpillar mainly infests to the buds, flowers, and young pods. Presence of slug-like caterpillars you can see on the infested pods of a pigeon pea. Management practices in that avoid dense or close planting, avoid early or late sowing. So timely sowing is an important practice for the management of blue butterfly. Regular soil digging cause death of a larva and pupa. Eggs parasitoid trichogramma species should be released. Larval parasitoids Hypercnia and Litrodromus pacifius should be released. Carbaryl 50% vegetable powder should be applied along with the water 1000 kg per hectare. Next pest of pulses, that is the Maruca pod borer, or it is also called as a spotted pod borer. Scientific name Maruca stastulalis, family Pyrostidae, order Lepidoptera. Mark of identification in that eggs mostly whitish in color deposited in a groups. Larval stage, which is yellowish with black spots and brownish head. Pupal stage, which is found in a cocoons made by the larva. Adult stage, adult moth, which is a brown color with white patch on a forewings, hind wings white with a brown marking on the coastal region of a hind wings, and forewings mainly brownish in color and white patches seen on the forewings. Larval stage of that pest is the damaging stage, mainly infest larva on a bird's flowers as well as on a pods. infested pods and flowers which are webbed together by the larval stage, and pupa is found in the infested pods. Management practices same as like a tour pod borer or tour plume moth. The next important pest, that is the spiny pod borer, Italia Zincinella family, Pyrostidae order Lepidoptera. So why it is called as a spiny pod borer? Because on the body of a larva having a spines or bristles like structure. That's why it is called as a spiny pod borer. Eggs mainly deposit in a singly or in a groups, preferably at the junction of the calyx pod or on the pod surface. A female deposits 47 to 178 eggs which hatch in 5 to 6 days. So these are the spines or hairs or bristles on the skin of a larva. That's why it is called as a spiny pod borer. The larva bore with the green pods and feed on the seeds. When fully grown larva drops to the ground, forms a cocoon about 2.5 centimeter below ground and under dry leaves, greenish. Initially turns into the pupation. It has 5 black spots on the prothorax. Adult stage mainly, this one is the adult, mainly brownish gray in color. Prothorax are orange in color. Forewings has a white strip along the anterior margin. Pupil stage is mainly in a soil which is mostly pinkish in color. Damaging stage of that pest is the larval stage, mainly feed on flower buds, flowers, and developing pods. Due to that infestation, dropping of flowers, young pods, older pods marked with a brown spot where a larvae has entered. Management practices, mainly use of the natural enemies, Tetratichus species, Bracon habitur, Erotoma species, ETL 10% infested pods, deep summer plowing, early sowing, use short duration varieties, avoid closer plant spacing, grow tall sorghum as a comparison crop to serve as a biological bird arches, collect and destroy larvae and adult, install pheromone traps at a distance 50 meter at the rate 5 traps per hectare. Install bird arches, setting light traps, one light trap per 5 acre. Control is achieved by releasing Trachurama chilonis 1.5 lakh eggs per hectare per week for 4 times. Conserve green lacewing, predatory sting bug, spiders, ants. Application of NPV 250 liter per hectare with typical 0.1% and jaggery 0.5%. Thrice at 10 to 15 day interval. Application of BT at the rate 600 gram. Spray neem seed kernel extract 5%. Application of insecticides mainly quinolphos 4% dust, carbaryl 5% dust at the rate 25 kg per hectare. Application of quinolphos 25 EC at the rate 1000 ml per hectare. The next one, Pest of Pulses, that is the field bean pod borer Adisura atkinsoni. This pest mainly infests to the pods, bore the pods and feed the seeds inside the pods, and their adverse effect on the yield of a pulses. Larva mainly greenish, having a brown lateral markings. It has humped anal segment. Adult moth yellowish brown in color. Forewings yellow colored with fish-shaped spikes and wings. has pale brown markings. Management practices as same like a field bean, as same like a pod borers. Stem fly is also important pest, mainly in pest this pest on a stem portion of a pulses. That's why it is called as a stem fly. Opiomia hazoli, dropping of a tender leaves and wilting seedling should be wilt due to the infestation of that stem fly. Yellowish of a young plants stem becomes swollen and start ribbing. Here maggot and pupae are present. Maggot, which is a small yellow colored adult, which is a tiny blackish in color. Management practices as same like a tour pod fly. The next one major pest, which is the non-insect pest, mites, eriophyid mites. Eriophyid mites, this is the major pest of a pulses. Also act as a factor of red gram sterility mosaic virus acaria kajani. Nymphs and adults, which is a whitish in color, very small, microscopic, vermiform like shape, two pairs of a anterior located legs. Vermiform in shape means worm like shape, larva like shape of that pest. Mainly suck the cell sap from the leaves and also transmit red gram sterility mosaic virus. Infested plants becomes revealed, leaves becomes yellowish in color. Use resistant pigeon pea varieties. Use acaricides, mainly dicofol 1 liter or vegetable sulfur 3 kg or dimethoid 30 dimethoid 1 liter. Pozzolon 35 EC 1 liter in 700 liter of water. Avoid synthetic pyrethroids chemicals to avoid the resurgence of a pest. So this is the important pest of a pulses, red grams, eriophyid, mite, also transfer, red gram sterility mosaic, virus, acaria, kajani. This is the non-insect pest of a pulses. So these are the major pest of pulses as well as red gram. Mainly pod borers. There are the number of pod borers. Pod borer category pest infest to the pulses. कुणाला काय डाऊट असेल तर विचारा.